Well, hello. Uh, I have decided to create a series of what's called passive income. And I would say there's different ways, as we know, that we can create that passive income. However, one of the things that's most important is where do you start, right? Because there's so many different ways that, yes, believe it or not, you could be going to discuss making money series is going to be in real estate, right? Because we know that's one of the greatest wealth that you can produce in any type of century. It doesn't matter era. I mean, money has always been there in real estate. Now, there's different alternatives in real estate, right? It all depends, again, on your personality. So what do I mean? So what we're starting with this series is going to be about real estate, but a little bit different to what you might be used to hearing or probably even learning from other seminars, which most of the time when you hear, investment, it's about single family homes, right? And while I think this is phenomenal, property type to invest on, there's other alternatives that you can invest because right now, single family homes were pretty much, purchased in very large amounts by the major big companies, right? And if you do recall something about real estate, the iBuyers, right? And who are those iBuyers? Well, we know that Zillow is one massive one, right? Zillow has been buying single family homes, by thousands in big chunks of portfolios, making it more difficult for regular investors like you who wants to get started, or maybe you want to continue adding to your portfolio, but you can't because these massive hedges, and funding capitals, they come in and they just, pick up by the thousands. So it's making it harder and harder for smaller investors to really get into the single family home. So one of the things that I like to get started in is going to be a little bit different. And again, I do believe in single family homes. If you have a good opportunity, jump in and grab it if it's real worth the investment and you've done your comps. But if not, one of the things that I've done, and I have seen some of my investors do also in my group, is get into what they call the mobile home, or as we call it, manufactured homes. So that's what we're going to really, just dive in this, episode, because I'm starting to see also that the massive companies out there are jumping into the market. But in this case, a little bit different. What they're doing is they're actually purchasing large amounts of parks. So they're not really interested in the single manufactured homes. They're interested in community parks, right? Because that way they can come in and just purchase 50, 100, 200, 300 mobile homes in one single park. If you're not familiar with the manufactured home, type of investment, it's a little bit different. Like I said, it is to, the actual, call it, a traditional home, whether it's a wood frame or whether it's maybe a CVS, right, a concrete, block, or even a brick home. It is different. Manufactured homes have a very bad rap, just to say in that way. A lot of times there's been expressions that just kind of undervalues communities, and you probably have heard these kind of expressions. They're called the trailer parks. But those trailer parks are a cash cow. So there's a lot of good opportunity there to really make money. Now, it's like any other investment. You have to look at the condition of the property. And I just came across an article by a well-known, investor, which I'm sure you heard. It's biggerpockets.com, right? Biggerpockets.com. And I really, when I saw this article, I said, I have to really share it, because it's not only about my experience, not only personally, because I have invested in manufactured homes. That's correct. Yes, it is. And also because I have other connections with other investors that also do mobile homes. On top of that, I think this is just a great opportunity. Now, it's not for everyone, again, and the reason why it says not for everyone, because it's true that manufactured home versus a single family home does not usually gain so much in equity, right? And the reason for that is because especially the problem with manufactured homes, by the way, that's what they're called after any home that was built after 76, they're called manufactured homes. Prior to that, they were called mobile homes. And, you know, we picture mobile homes because they came with wheels, right? Well, remember, wheels are actually removed when they position, you know, the home into, you know, the land. So it's not like you can just pull it like really like a trailer. So there's a misconception of that. I just wanted to kind of throw that to you and share my thoughts with you. But anyhow, to make, you know, this episode really, you know, valuable, what I'm trying to share with you is that if you're starting or you have thought about, is it really worth it, Liz? You know, do I really want to kind of jump into something that you're not familiar? Like I always tell people, we're here all to learn from each other. And the more you learn, the more you invest in your education, especially in anything you're going to do, it's going to be worthwhile. I believe it's worth jumping in and buying a mobile home that you have no clue what you're looking at, what's the value, because you really just maybe read a few articles and watch a few videos and you think now you're ready. Sometimes you might not be ready. That's right. I always recommend getting a mentor, getting a group of training, whatever it takes you, a community that can support you who has been there before you, okay? So with that said, by the way, I will be sharing below in the description box, if you're actually watching this through my YouTube, because I do have a podcast, so I do share this audio through my podcast, and if not, I will have a link for that too. This article is phenomenal. I want you to, if you have a chance to read it, it's like I said, Bigger Pockets is in their blog section. It is called The Largest Landlord Mobile Home Parks, okay? I repeat that again. It's under the blog section, and it's Largest Landlord Mobile Home Parks. I think it's a phenomenal article. I really like it. And again, this is why I'm sharing it. But the point here is I'm also going to be sharing another second link. And that one is actually for it is a specialized, this is a mentor that all he has done is actually just investing in mobile homes for multiple years. He's an expert, he's a pro, he knows what he's doing. And if you're looking for the right investment in your education, definitely I will highly recommend them. And I think it's well worth it. I really think so. Again, you never want to be blindfolded. You always want to get so much information from. So let's get started with this. What has been my experience personally, besides, like I said, my clients who have been investing also in mobile homes? Number one, it's tricky. You have to learn what you're looking at. And the most important and the biggest difference that I want to share with you in this episode is there's different types of not only mobile homes, because we got single and we got double wide mobile homes, okay? And double wide, it's more assembles to a regular house, okay? Which is really nice because you have that width, which is nice to be inside a space where you know, you might not feel like you're really enclosed in a box, in other words. Now, some of these homes, let me tell you folks, they are unbelievable how beautiful they're inside, especially the new models. Is really, really amazing, especially anything built after like the 2000. It's just outstanding, really, what these manufacturers have done with these homes. They have gorgeous kitchens, bathrooms, you know, bathtubs. I mean, it's just stunning just to see some of these homes. So some of them, you pretty much, you don't even feel like you're in a manufactured home. It feels like a real house. Now, to clear something here, because I see a little confusion with modular homes and manufactured homes. They're two separate things. Don't get them confused. Modular homes, yes, they also manufacture in a factory, and yes, they move on wheels, same as a manufactured home, but it's very different because the way that they actually compose the whole house is not in a single piece. It comes in different pieces to form the entire modular home. So I wanted to kind of share that real quick with you, because there is a difference and they're more expensive. Yep, that's right. And they do actually gain a lot of equity, modular homes. Going back to manufacturing, which is what this episode is all about, I really think that based on how I see rents increasing here, especially in the United States, I believe that it's a very affordable way for many people and families to be able to have a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or 4 bedrooms. And, you know, most of those homes are less than $1,000 a month, which is like, you know, it's stunning, because where do you go to get a 3.2 or 4, 3 for that kind of price? In the majority places that you go in community parks, that's about average of what's going to cost them between a mortgage and actually the lot rent. Now, let me kind of define what I just said there. There's manufactured homes that you can purchase in a community. The beauty of a community is, one, most of them, they give you extra security. Sometimes they might have a security guard, a patrol. Sometimes they don't. Others definitely have pool, an area. They have community clubs. Some of them have gyms. They have, tennis courts. So they take care of the lawn. They take care of, everything that has to do with the pavement, the streets. So it's really nice because it's really almost like an HOA community, and you pay them a monthly rent for your land. That's what happens. And you actually own your own manufactured home, which you obviously finance separately, or perhaps you can pay in cash and get a better deal that way, right? Because we know cash is the king no matter what. Hopefully you agree with me on that one. So what happens when they invest in these type of mobile homes, what happens is a lot of people would pay them through finance and also pay the lot rent. And like I said, it's so reasonable to live in a spacious, house. And yes, I mean, a lot of people have concerns with, especially, states like Florida, and even Georgia, and we have other places like Alabama and obviously Texas, where we come across a lot of tropical weather with hurricanes. Now, a lot of these homes have anchors. They have anchors. Yes, they do. They're not built by cement, but they're anchors usually under the ground, and it's sufficient to probably sustain a Hurricane 1 or even 2. Beyond that, well, it's going to be harder. But a lot of these homes, you'd be surprised how sturdy they are. Really, they're very well built. Now, and that even including homes that I have owned all the way from the 60s to the 80s of manufactured homes, and they were very well built. So I think this is a great, great investment for anyone who's thinking out of the box and saying, okay, Liz, right now, single family homes and multi-family homes are so expensive, especially duplex. I mean, I see the prices in duplex right now, and they're just way, way too expensive. So this is a great way that you can invest at a lot more affordable. And I want to finalize, by the way, and if you have get some value out of this, by all means, I would appreciate if you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It always helps to grow my channel, obviously. And also like and give me a thumbs up. I love hearing comments. I believe that right now I'm trying, like I said, share as much as possible with you based on my own experience and what I have had through my also investors that I help with, type of work I do. Again, I'm an accountant. I do specialize niche on the real estate industry. So going back, I think the most important thing here for you to take out of this, session, if you want to call it, is the fact that if you have been thinking about it, just educate yourself. It's like anything else, any other investment. The more you train yourself and the better community you have, the better chances you have to succeed. So again, mobile homes, it's a little bit of a different game to a single family home. Like I said, they might not ever, gain so much equity like a house, but they still can get equity. All right. So that's a myth that people say, oh no, you buy it, it's like a car. Like I said, I have heard really, bad comments about, manufactured homes, but that's not true, especially if you own the land. That's right. So I believe that for starters, having a manufactured home purchase really on a community park, it's better because you can buy these manufactured homes for less than $30,000. That's right. 30, 20,000. Of course, it depends on the condition, right, of the home. If you have to rehab the property, which a lot of them do require, before you can have, a new tenant move in, then in that case, yeah, you can buy them as cheap as, I heard some people buying as cheap as $5,000, right? That's almost unbelievable, but it's true. Now, yes, you're looking at a much larger investment, to fix a home like that. But again, once it's fixed, these homes, depending on the area, they can range anything from $500 to $1,000 to $1,200 a month. So the actual investment that you're going to do in doing the rehab, all right, it's going to be mostly less than in a traditional home. Okay, now again, you need to learn a little bit about this type of investment, because there's certain things that you need to learn of what you need to look at in a property, not only the interior but also the exterior, right? And again, location, like any other real estate, where is it located? And like I said, makes a huge difference. Sure. Do you want to have full control over the property and nobody, you know, supervising, nobody, you know, screening, no one giving you any headaches, no HOA? Then your next step is to buy a manufactured home that comes attached with a piece of land. And that's what I did just recently in one of my investments that I just actually sold. And I call them a flip. Yeah, we flip also manufactured homes. And that's exactly what I did. So on my very first manufactured home, it was in a 55 plus community. So I was able to experiment what was to go through that type of you know, situation, and how you need to get screened by the HOA. In that case, I had a tenant who was over the age of 55, so there was no obstacles of being approved because of that. Even though I was younger, I was the investor. I was the one purchasing the manufactured home, but the tenant who was going to live was over the age of the requirement. So there was no issue. Okay, very pretty community. It was only like, I think we only had like about 25 manufactured homes, so it was a really small community. And just to give you an idea how much the landlord can increase, that within a 10-year period, I remember coming in and paying only $425 a month. That's right, $425. Bought this manufactured home for only $10,000. Had to do a little rehab. I had to completely replace the subfloors in that home. A lot of other repairs with drywalls and, you know, doing different things around the house. I think my total investment after repair and everything was close to maybe $14,000. That's it. That was it. And then other than that, it was the lot rent for $425. That's unbelievable, right? But here's the thing with that. Then now you have that community and that monthly rent to pay. And a lot of them you have to pay separate also your water, all right? But it includes, like I said, sometimes you have a pool, sometimes you have security. So if you like that kind of living, then that's great. That's a great place to invest. Now, personally, after having, you know, another experience recently, like I said, we're doing a flip in a manufactured home and actually owning the land, it was a completely different experience. I personally liked it a lot more. And I think it's great for people who are looking to just do fix and flips, not in non-traditional houses, but manufactured homes, but also, you know, maybe becoming a landlord, because this is all about passive income. So what better way than to have an affordable home that you can repair and make it in moving condition and have a good screen, you know, tenant. And if you're going to tell me, well, you know, Liz, I don't want to worry about toilets and, you know, headaches and they're calling me for electrical problems or, you know, things that go wrong in the property. Again, you can have a property management, you know, take care of your mobile home. Sure. Why not? You could have somebody locally that lives nearby. Then maybe it's a handyman that every time you need to have a repair, all you need to do is contact that handyman that hopefully it's going to be, you know, priced in a reasonable way, and it's going to do a good service for you, you know? So there's a lot of different ways that you can manage how to really invest into mobile homes. And again, some people, like in this article that I want to finalize here, says world's largest landlord enters the mobile park arena. Now, this is not good news. Like I say, if you plan to invest in small communities where maybe it's less than 50 or 100, you know, manufactured homes, you still have a good chance there. But if you're looking into larger, unfortunately, now we have so much competition in this market. That's right. In the last like 5 years, it has been increasing a lot. And now we have one of the largest one. I'm actually going through this article right now. And I couldn't recall, I think it was the, oh, there it is, the Blackstone Group. Now, the Blackstone Group, if you recall back in the recession time around 2008, 2010, around that time, I mean, they came in and they wobble all these type of single family homes at real dirt cheap prices, right? When the last bubble that we had during that time, I was during that time, I do recall very well. It kind of feels like it was yesterday. And I recall that during that time, I could see these big companies coming in and, just like I said, picking up these really dirt cheap houses. And now, after all these years, I mean, these homes have increased, substantially. I mean, they increased by almost, 30 to 40% in equity. Unbelievable. So with that said, this company is actually coming out after, yes, that's right, the manufactured communities, now the larger ones. So there's still a better chance for the individuals who are planning to get a portfolio and doing something like this. But again, you need to contemplate, do you want to own the land, which is what I usually would recommend. But if you don't want to worry about having to take care of the grass and what other things could happen around, the property, then a community park will probably be better, but now you're paying a monthly lot, which obviously you include in your monthly rent. So one way or another, I do believe the manufactured homes, they're a cash cow. That's just my personal opinion, and from many other people that have shared with, that, like I said, they're active investing in manufactured homes. Again, educate yourself. All the information I have shared with you, I always believe you do your due diligence and you always research the information. Again, educate yourself, get mentors, people who done it before you, and that way hopefully you can avoid some of the traditional errors that you can, because in some of these trailer homes, yeah, you have to be very cautious. They're falling apart and after they're really in bad or damaged condition, it's very hard to get them repaired. So you have to be cautious about that too. There's certain things, like I said, very different to a traditional house. So again, I hope my information has helped you somehow in value. And like I said, I'm going to continue a sequence of this passive income, series, because I really want to have the typical person out there who's really thinking about, I don't have a possibility of this, I don't make enough money, or I don't, I'm going to need $100,000 to get started. And that is not true, folks. It's not true. You can get started with very little money. Like I said, my very first investment in my manufactured home, I paid $10,000. Yes, it was cash. Yes, it's accessible. Yes, you can come with a partner and maybe you can do half and half and do the repairs. See what I'm saying? So there's a lot of ways that you can do this. And again, I'm going to be sharing on the description box not only the article, but also the fact that I'm going to be sharing that other connection that I have, that I think that source is going to help you really get the proper training that you need. And somewhere around here in the right, left, in the corner, if you're watching the video versus to listen to my podcast, there are going to be additional videos, that a series that I created also not too long ago, talking about passive income, but only strictly about real estate. And that had to do with REITs, real estate investment trades, right? Also with land, just purchasing land, or in this situation, what we call tax liens. So if you like, feel free, watch those. And I hope this has been, like I said, helpful to you. Like, share, it always helps. And I will be seeing you in the next sequence, like I said. And your comments, absolutely, by all means. I love hearing from all my subscribers and followers, and understanding what you're looking for. I mean, and I know it's kind of tricky, but don't worry, just push forward and at least start with your very first property. That's what matters the most, So anyhow, I'll be seeing you in the next episode. Bye-bye.